Continue our afternoon edition coverage of Day 3 of the confirmation hearings for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Will she be confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court? The Senate Judiciary Committee still determining that, listening to her answers to their questions. Joining us on the afternoon edition, Professor Terri Day. She is a constitutional law professor with Barry University. Terri, it's been a while since you and I have been together. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, and I'm happy to be here.
Definitely. So let's talk about the Affordable Care Act, and obviously it was expected to be a hot topic. Yesterday, Democratic Senator Chris Coons asked Judge Barrett why she criticized Chief Justice John Roberts' opinion of the ACA. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, she basically said that she thought that Chief Justice Roberts' justification for upholding the Affordable Care Act in terms of Congress's power to pass it was wrong. And what's interesting is that same provision is coming before November, which is all the controversy about the Affordable Care Act and her being on the Supreme Court. And so this is the discussion that some of the Democratic senators have had with her. The issue about that provision, she's criticized Chief Justice Roberts' opinion already from 2012. Mm-hmm. So it's that plus, if that provision is unconstitutional, does everything else remain, or is everything else unconstitutional? Right. What was interesting in her answers to Senator Coons, she jumped to the second issue and said, well, I really think this is about severability, which suggests that she's already made up her mind on the first issue about the constitutionality of the provision.
Right. Now, I want to ask you, earlier this week, Senator Chuck Schumer had called for her to be, if she is confirmed, obviously, called for her to be recuse herself from several issues like the Affordable Care Act. And Democratic Senator from Vermont Patrick Leahy asked Judge Barrett if she would to commit to recusing herself from anything related to the November election. She declined. Talk to me about the practice with a justice recusing themselves.
The recusal of Supreme Court justices is covered by the federal recusal statute. And basically, it's justices would recuse themselves if there's a conflict of interest, financial conflicts, familial conflicts, if justices have worked on cases that come before the Supreme Court. But basically, the justice, he or she self, is the one who decides. She may confer with some of her colleagues, but she's the one that decides. And because the Supreme Court is the court of last resort, there's no appeal. So I think the most analogous situation is when conservative groups ask Justice Ginsburg to recuse themselves from the same-sex marriage case, because both Justice Ginsburg and Justice Kagan had stated in public they were in favor of same-sex marriage, and both of them had performed same-sex marriages, so they did not recuse themselves. So I'm not sure that Judge Barrett would.
And I've got about a minute left with you, and the segment, or the connection we have with you is going in and out, so I just want to let people know who are watching us that there was the reason for that. But I did want to ask you really quickly before we have to wrap up, just about the logistics of this. They're having the hearings. It seems like things are going a little bit faster than what we've seen in the past with hearings for other Supreme Court picks and for their confirmation hearings.
Yeah, no question that this is much expedited compared to the nominations and confirmations for the 8 justices currently sitting. What was really truncated was the period between nomination and the confirmation hearings. Usually that's a much longer period because that involves the litigation, the public debate that goes on with media and interest groups and citizens. So that was cut short. But in terms of the scheduling of the vote, that's pretty normal.
Okay. All right, listen, Barry University constitutional law professor Terri Day, thank you so much for joining us. Always good to see you, and we know we'll have you back for future discussions. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.